Welcome back to the channel where we talk all about coins that might be hiding in your pocket change. And today, we're going to dive deep into the Jefferson 1999 5-cent nickel coin, its value, its fascinating history, and what collectors are paying for it in today's market. The Jefferson nickel is one of the most recognizable coins in United States history and has been minted since 1938, replacing the buffalo. Nickel, the design, features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse designed by Felix Schlag, and the reverse shows Jefferson's home Monticello, which is one of the most iconic coin designs to ever circulate in America. Now, let's talk about the 1999 issue. Specifically this year marked the final stretch of the 20th century before the United States Mint would transition into the new millennium. Many collectors consider coins from the late 1990s to be an interesting bridge between older, classic circulation coins and the more modern collectible state quarters and nickels that would come in the 2000s. The 1999 Jefferson nickel was struck at both the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint with mintages over 1 billion combined, which means you can still find them in circulation today. However, just because a coin has a high mintage does not mean it lacks value. There are always certain conditions, varieties, and mint errors that can make these coins worth much more than face value. Let's break down mintages. From that year, the Philadelphia Mint produced well over 600 million pieces, and the Denver Mint struck more than 1 billion coins in total circulation, which is a massive amount. But what makes some 1999 nickels valuable is their condition and special features. For example, a regular 1999 nickel pulled from circulation might only be worth its face value of 5 cents. However, if you come across a coin in pristine, uncirculated condition, or even better in high mint state grades like MS65 or MS66 graded by services, such as PCGS or NGC, the value can increase significantly. Instead of just a few cents, you might be looking at a couple of dollars or more. And in the highest grades like MS67, these coins have been known to sell for anywhere between $100 and even up to $500 at auctions. Another factor that adds value to the 1999 nickel is error coins. Error nickels can include off-center strikes, double dies, clip planchets, or coins struck on the wrong metal planchet. Collectors are always on the lookout for these mistakes because they can raise the value of a common date nickel to hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the rarity and demand for that specific error. So it is always a good idea to carefully check both the obverse and reverse sides of any 1999 Jefferson nickel you come across. The historical importance of this coin also adds to its appeal. It represents the last year before the U.S. Mint would begin massive changes with special commemorative coin programs in the 2000s. It also stands as part of a long tradition of Jefferson nickels that carried the same design for decades, which makes it a key collectible for anyone interested in 20th century United States coinage. The simplicity and durability of the Jefferson nickel design has made it one of the longest running in history, and the 1999 edition sits right at the end of the 20th century, marking it as a milestone year. Now, let's discuss the current market value. As of today, circulated 1999 nickels are generally only worth 5 cents, but in higher mint state grades like MS65 or higher, they can command between $10 and $20 depending on the quality. At MS66, you might see prices around $50 to $80, and in MS67, which is extremely rare, prices can soar past $300, and sometimes even higher. Error coins like double dies or off-center strikes can range anywhere from $50 to over $1,000 if the error is dramatic and unique, so it always pays to carefully inspect your change. In summary, the Jefferson 1999 5-cent nickel is a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance, but when you dig deeper into its history, its mintages, its varieties, and its market demand, you'll see that this coin can actually be worth a lot of money in the right condition, or if you're lucky enough to discover a rare mint error. So the next time you get a handful of change, make sure to keep an eye out for 1999 Jefferson nickels, because you never know when you might be holding a valuable treasure. Everyone, today we are diving into the fascinating world of United States nickels, and in this video we will be focusing on the Jefferson 5-cent nickel from the year 2000. This coin may look like just another regular piece of change you might find in your pocket, but many collectors know that every coin has a story and sometimes hidden value that goes far beyond its face value. So let's go step by step and learn about the history, design, interesting facts, and of course the current market value of the 2000 Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel has been in circulation since 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel that came before it. The original design was created by sculptor Felix Schlag, who won a national competition to design the coin. His design featured a portrait of the third president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, on the obverse or front side of the coin, and his iconic home Monticello on the reverse or backside. This design became one of the most recognized and longest running designs in United States coinage history, and even though modifications were made in later years, the 2000 Jefferson nickel still carried the classic design style that collectors love. By the year 2000, these coins were struck at two main mints, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. Coins from Philadelphia carry a no mint mark on the front of the coin, while coins from Denver carry the small D mint mark next to the date on the right side of Jefferson's portrait. There were also proof versions struck at the San Francisco Mint, which can be identified by the S Mint mark. Proof nickels are specially made coins with mirror-like surfaces and sharp details intended for collectors rather than for circulation. That the 2000 Jefferson nickel has some important characteristics. The coin is made of a composition that has been used since 1946, 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it that familiar silver-like color. It has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters and weighs exactly 5 grams. The edge of the coin is plain with no reading, unlike dimes or quarters, which have ridged edges. Now, let's talk about mintage numbers, because the amount of coins produced plays a big role in their availability and value. In the year 2000, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 500 million nickels, while the Denver Mint also struck hundreds of millions. This means that in general, these coins are very common in circulation and easy to find in everyday change. However, collectors are not only looking for regular worn coins, they are also searching for well-preserved examples in mint state condition, or coins that display rare errors and varieties that can make them worth a lot more money. Error coins are some of the most exciting find for collectors, and the 2000 Jefferson nickel is no exception. Examples of valuable errors include double die obverse or reverse, where details such as the lettering or Monticello appear doubled off, center strikes where the design is not properly centered, and coins struck on the wrong planchet or blank intended for another denomination, such as a penny or dime. Those error coins are rare, and when they do appear at auctions, they can fetch impressive amounts, sometimes selling for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the type of error. And its condition is another major factor when it comes to determining value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher grades representing coins that are closer to flawless, uncirculated condition. A circulated 2000 Jefferson nickel that has been through pockets and cash registers is usually only worth its face value of 5 cents. But when you find a coin in mint state condition, especially MS65 or higher, it can be worth significantly more. Collectors often pay a few dollars, up to $20 or more, for high-grade examples with perfect luster and sharp details. Proof versions, especially those in deep cameo condition, can also sell for higher prices, sometimes $10 to $30 or more, depending on demand. Now, let's talk about the current market value. As of today, in 2025, the majority of circulated 2000 Jefferson nickels are still only worth 5 cents, but uncirculated examples graded MS65 typically sell in the $10 to $20 range, and coins graded MS67, which are quite difficult to find, can sell for over $100 and sometimes even higher when the coin has exceptional eye appeal. Proof coins with the S Mint mark from San Francisco usually sell between $3 and $10 for regular proofs, and up to $30 or more for perfect deep cameo examples. Error coins, as we mentioned earlier, can range from $50 to well over $1,000, depending on the rarity and demand from collectors. So the big takeaway here is that while most 2000 Jefferson nickels are common and not worth more than face value, there are some hidden gems out there that could be sitting in your pocket change if you know what to look for. Check carefully for mint marks, study the condition, and always keep an eye out for unusual features that might point to an error coin. You could easily be holding something that is worth far more than just 5 cents. The Jefferson nickel has been a part of American history for decades, carrying with it the legacy of one of the nation's most important founding fathers. And by learning more about coins like the 2000 nickel, we not only appreciate their beauty and history, but also understand the value they can hold both in money, and in meaning. That wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed learning about the 2000 Jefferson 5-cent nickel, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our future coin videos. Let me know in the comments if you have ever found a rare Jefferson nickel in your change, or if you collect these coins. I always enjoy hearing your stories and experiences. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.